This is a tutorial on how to use Microsoft Access. The first step is you click on the search bar to find the Microsoft Access. You have different version. This is 2016 version. Open it. So you see an empty window like this. Click on the blank desktop database. Give it a name. Let's give it a name. Let's say database, or you say student student data. Then click on it, create. Okay, we have the name already. Let's see student data. Let me give it a data, a separate student data. Let me use that. That's because I have the name already. Create. Now, this is an empty space. You see, we already have a predefined table. We say database consists of two or more tables. Now, it could be one table, it could be two, it could be three. Now, you have a predefined table here named table 1. Let's delete it because we might have to rename it. It's named table 1, but we don't need it. Let's delete it. You right click on this table name here. You right click on it. Then you close. That means you have deleted it. This place is the left pane where you see the tables. Now come to this create. Then you just click on table. Once you click on table, you can see this star here is telling us that we should enter a data. This is an ID. It's giving us an ID initially, but we don't want that. We want to give our own ID. You might be required to use your own ID. So let's just right click on this. Then you go to design view. Design view is where you design a table. Then you give the table a name. Is that clear? Let's say student record. Student. Let's say student record. Student record. Let's say student record. There's a mistake. There's an issue. There's an issue. Let me do that again. Design view. Now student record. Then okay. Now we have the student record here. Now let's give it a feed name. Feed name is also known as the attribute to a column. Now feed name, let's say student ID. Student, student, what's happening? Student ID. So auto number is a data type that's when you are entering the data, it assists or make it easier to give your data a number. It could be from 1. When you start from 1, it's continue increasing it 2, 3, 4, 5 without you entering anything in the student ID attributes. Now let's use short number because we want to use it with mix of numbers and text. Then you give it a description. You can just say the unique ID, unique, unique ID for student, because it's a unique identity. Now you can see we have a key beside that student ID. That shows that it's a primary key. So if you are not seeing that, you can just right click on it. Then you see the option to either choose it as a primary key or not. Is that clear now? You can also delete a row. You can also delete insert row. There are many options you can play with. Now let's insert other records. Last name. Be fast with it. Short text. Yes, that's what we need. First name. Short text. We have other. Note that we have other data types. We have the long text. you have the number. When you have the number, when you are dealing with currency, auto number, we said it already. You have yes or no, which is boolean. You have the hyperlink. Maybe you want to bring in a link attachment when you have a document calculated. When you have a calculated value, when you have a value that you want to calculate, then you need calculated. Now let's insert other field. Age, that will be a number. You can see that it's telling us short text. So age should be a number, not short text. Now you can just say student age. Just give this description. Description will help someone that have little knowledge about database. Student's age, to understand that, oh, this thing is for student age. Then let's give it a class. A class. Should we say that? Yes, let's say class, class ID. In this case, the reason I'm saying class ID is I want you to see that when we have a primary key and a foreign key, how they works together. Yeah, class student ID is a primary key, but we will need a table. We don't want to just bring in everything inside this table. This table is just to tell us the student's ID, the student's name, student's last name, first name, and the student age. Class ID is another thing entirely. Class identity. If you just say class SS1, class SS2, that means we will be coming here to change SS2 every time. But when you have a class ID changing per student, that means if the class ID of that student is 001, class 001 for GSS1, when the person is getting to GSS2 to be class 002, everybody will be under class 002 to be unique. So here, class ID will be a foreign key. To get this, let's create a table. Let's save this first. Now let's create a table. Go back to create. Now let's click table. Now we are in the datasheet view. You have to right click on that table name, go to design view, then you name the table. Let's give it a name, class record. Class record. Then you click OK. Now in this place, let's give the field name of class ID as we have there. Class must be consistent with it. It's a short text, then short text, not auto number, short text. Then here, let's say class name, class name. That one too is short text because it contain number and alphabets. Now let's go to design view for this class record. No, datasheet view rather. Now class ID, let's say C, which is class 001, enter. Then the class name JSS1, class 002, JSS2, C standing for class 003, JSS3, class 004, JSS1, class 005, SS2, class 006, SS3. We are done with that. Let's save it. Now, let's go back to the student record. Now, we have the class ID already. It's a foreign key here. Foreign key. Because it is coming from another table. The record is from another table. That clear? Now, let's go to design view, to the datasheet view, where we'll insert our data. Now let's go to data sheet. We are okay, we're on data sheet view here. Now let's insert our data. Let's insert something here. The student ID, let's use std 001. std stand for student. Let's just use, you might use st. So far you are being in charge of the data. 001. Then let's move to the next one. Last name, let's use Adekunle Sarah. Sarah. And the age, let's a certain age. Let's say 16. 16 could be any class. You can say class ID. Let's say she's in GSS2. That will be what? Class 002. Is that also class record? Class 002 is GSS2. So GSS2 class 002. Then let's move to the next record. Next record, let's have student STD 002. Enter. Let's use um Ajayi Deborah. Let's add the age. Okay. I think of the sex type also, gender. You can add that also. So let's that's me. That is telling you that before you can say you want to enter a data, the design view, you must have a clue of what the design view should be. You must use the approach of data modeling, the conceptual approach, the logical approach before you go into the physical section. This is the physical section. You can't just start work and you just keep editing, going back to design view. You want to edit this, it will make your work slow. So you have to add the templates of all you need. The first thing is in the conceptual, you need the entity, each entity. Students, okay, you need the students entity. What are those things that will be in their entity? What are those attributes you need that is required? What are those tables you need in that database? So once you define that, then you go to the physical stage. This is the physical stage. Now let's give it a certain age of 18. Let's say 18. Let's say 18. Let's say class 005. 00. Okay, let's use 4. Let's save it. Now you can add another field here, another attribute rather. So let's go to design view. Let's go to design view. You can have another attribute here. You can enter a new row after age. Let me check insert row. Now you see you can have a new row after this first name. So you can also delete a row. You can also delete a row. You can have a row. Once you click this, that means you want to have it after this class ID, insert row. Then age, let's say gender. You don't have that before, but in the conceptual and the once you pass through the conceptual and logical stage successfully, you can come into the physical modeling. Now short test, because I'll just give it the description that male equals M and female equals F. Save it. Then you go to the design, to the datasheet view. Go to datasheet view. Save it. Then you go to the datasheet view. Right click on it. Datasheet view. Then you can see we have the gender we are yet to fill. Let's say Sarah, she's a female. Deborah also female. F standing for female. Now let's move to the new record. Student STD input some record as soon as fast as possible. Let's put small record. Okoro James. Let's use Okoro James as sample. Okoro James. Enter. Age. Let's say 20. SS3. That will be male. That will be class 006. Now enter. Let's say std 004. Let's give it a name. Let's give it a name. Let's give it a name from your class. Let's give it a name. Alofe Kende. Let's say 17. Female, right? Plus 005. That's true. Let's give it a name. Another student. STD 005. Alofe Taiwo. Age. Let's say 17 also. Female. C005. Now let's another student. Chance. Owade. Owade Anoluwa. Let's use that. I'll just use different um gender. Could not be your gender. Owade. Consistency is important. Now, where you have a name, don't put number, because if you throw it will even throw an error to you that this has a separate data type. This is an entirely different data type, so you can't use number where you have where you should use alphabet. Is that clear? Where you should have number, you can't use alphabet there. Is that clear? Where we have age, can use. I will give you a sample now. Anu Oluwa. Oh, let me use that. Now here you have a number here. Now let's write F and present. You can see that it's giving us an issue. So it's telling us that the value required is not an alphabet but a number. So let's say she's 19, she's 18. Let's say he's a male, not female. Let's say male, not female. Let's use different gender and let's give it class of C006S3. Now let's give another student chance STD 007. So let's say Adepoju Balkis. Let's say Adepoju Balkis. Let's say 16, female, or let's say a female class 004. This one STD 008. Let's have some mock Unike Kyra. Let's say Unike Kyra. Having more data will give you a turnaround report. Well, report. That is the reason we are having to populate people with some data. Let's say 14. Let's say female too. We have only 2 male here. We have to populate data also with some male name. Let's say class. Let's say GSS2. Okay, GSS1. Just 001. This is mock. Doesn't mean that it is an exact value. That is why I say data is raw fact until it is processed. So let's say Ajayi. Okay, don't use Ajayi here again. Let's use Lawal Omobolanle. Students, okay. Students 009. Let's use Lawal. Okay, okay. Juwan. Let's say 12. Male. GSS1 C001. No, 00, not 001. Let's save it. Let's have another student. STD 00010, not 010. Now let's use another name. Akilakwa. Okay, no. Let's use another name. Olasheni Tobi. Olasheni Tobi. Let's say 19. Okay, let's say 15. Male. SS3 C006. Let's the woman data STD. I will have 11. Let's have a name here. Ulubere Isaac. Ulubere Isaac. Let's say 19. Male. CSS3. Now you're looking at this data. We have the student's record and the class record already. Is that not so? So since we have this data, this checking here, the students, the class ID, this attribute, this column is a foreign key in this table, in this student record table. While class record in this table, I mean this class ID is a primary key. Let's go back to the design view. You will see that it's a primary key. Let's go back to the design view. It's a primary key. Can you see? So in this case, class ID is a primary key in the class record, while in the student record, it is a foreign key. Let's go back to the datasheet view. Now, to know how it is being visualized, go to create, click on query design, then you select the table. We have class record, add it, and we also have student record, add it. Now close this dialog box, then let's expand. Let's move this. Can you see? If you look at this, it is pointing to the class ID here, which is this. That means this is linked to this. Is that clear? That's the linkage between the table. This is what we mean by relationship in actual sense. It means there's a relationship between the class record and the student's record. What's that relationship? The relationship is the class ID. The class ID is the relationship. Let's say we have a course table also. The course student and teacher. The relationship is the course. Is that clear now? So in the next session of this recording, we'll be talking about how to query data from a database.